Disclaimer, I'm sorry if the visual aspects of this video have something to be desired, leave something to be desired. They likely will, but I am blind, so I can't actually watch the video and change anything about the picture. So, sorry, but it's just the nature of my channel. Good morning. It's 11 something.
11:06 a.m.
11:06, and I need to. What do I need to do in the next 40 minutes? No, 50 minutes. That's how long I've got until my ride comes to go to the Commission for the Blind, where I will obviously exercise, but I may well do other things. If I do, I'm not going to vlog them because unless, well, maybe I will, maybe, but only if I really know. The thing about that is I am in a place, a part of the commission called the Student Lounge, and that's really, if you're not exercising or meeting with a counselor or having a class, that's kind of the best place for you. But obviously, you and everybody else who has classes or is at the commission for any reason, that's not a place where you hide out and are alone. So I will often just not vlog in there unless I am, in fact, either sure I'm alone or just comfortable vlogging with other people around, which in general I'm not that comfortable with that. What do you think every time I get into a vehicle and actually vlog, which sometimes I just don't even vlog, but why do you think every time I do I'm talking so softly and kind of putting the microphone like up to my mouth and whispering? Because if I sit here and talk in a normal voice, they'll either think I'm talking to them, or they'll be like, what is she talking about? Or what, just because you're blind doesn't mean just because you're blind doesn't necessarily mean that you can vlog without getting the, geez, what is that crazy person doing? And in an effort to not draw attention to myself, I limit when I vlog and vlog in that way when I'm in the car with someone, which is always. When you're blind and in a car, you're never by yourself. Ever. Someone always has to drive you if you're going to get anywhere. So, that's just kind of the way it is. So anyway, I guess I should get something to, yeah. I need to eat something. I need to call the unemployment office. I meant to do, I have been needing to do that since the end of yesterday, or Tuesday, and I never have. And that's not gonna fall into place by itself, I've got to take care of that. And neither is finding a job. But when I called Newsline, a lot of the things I found, of course, were things that it's unlikely that I can do. Although, maybe I can look at it again, or maybe something's come up between now and then. I don't know, but the more time I sit here talking to y'all, the closer my lift will be to getting here, and the more I won't be ready still. So I'm going to stop this and get ready for the day at least. Whether I'm going to call the unemployment committee or unemployment claim office now or at the commission, I don't know, but I mean, I could sit in the student lounge and make a phone call. I just wouldn't necessarily vlog it. I wish when my phone had a notification come up, VoiceOver would actually read the notification.
11:22 a.m. Thursday. YouTube. 13 minutes ago. Check out Simply Jasmine 94. 21-week pregnancy update vertical.
Oh, I will later. Maybe I will even when I'm eating, but right now I gotta get this show on the road. I forgot. I almost forgot this. I like to do this before I eat. Or I like to do this on this particular day before I eat, so that I'm not eating, or I'm not weighing.
The weight is 183.4 pounds. The weight is 183.4 pounds.
It was saying it was 183 and something last week. I'll go back and look at my weight record and see if I've stayed there or if I've gained like 0.1 or lost 0.4. I thought it was 183 point whatever. Last week it was really 101. So according to that, I've gained... See, this is why I don't trust my scale. Because I can't believe, even if I gained something, which is the wrong thing to have happen, I should be losing. But even if I did gain, I can't believe I gained 3 pounds in 1 week. And I can't believe I can't believe I gained like 2.3 pounds in 1 week. I can't believe I lost 3 pounds in 1 week. I mean, I don't trust this scale. I don't think this is very accurate. Sorry, I'm trying to drain the water out of this stuff, and it's not happening. I put a cup in this, I put a cup in this drainer so that these actually did fall out. They would fall out in the cup instead of in the sink, never to be, or down the drain, never to be recovered. But anyway, the doctor said to weigh myself and monitor the trend, which I will do. But I don't think my scale's giving me an accurate weight. Talking accurate scale. That's what I need. Because a scale that's not accurate, I'm not sure how much you can trust the trend being set with that scale. And a scale that doesn't talk doesn't do me any good because I can't see the readout. I see it all the time. I'm blind. And, blind, visually impaired, whatever, is kind of a broad term. Sometimes when people say blind, they mean legally blind. Sometimes when people say blind, they mean so blind they can't see what a letter says on a piece of paper, even if the letter was the entire length and width of the paper and they were kissing the paper. That's me. I cannot see, period. And so, of course, I have a friend who I care for a great deal. She can see a little bit, but she's still too blind to read print or read the readout of a scale. So I'm not sure the level of blindness necessarily affects. I mean, the bottom line is some people are blind to the extent that they're legally blind. They'll never be able to get a driver's license, but if you blow out the print enough, they can still read print. Me, that's not me. Hence my need for a talking scale, voiceover on my iPhone and iPod turned on, talking this, talking that, you know, or braille this, braille that, but I don't suspect that there might be an app these days where you can sync your scale up to your app and then have the reading show up on your iDevice and then connect a braille display to it and read it in braille, but I don't think there's such a thing as a braille scale. And I'm yakking on. Anyway, I may have to take this lunch with me to the commission. Because
for quality assurance purposes.
3.
Calls are answered.
if
Customers, please remain on the line.
I've got a
for the
12 to
next
12:30,
available
that means it could
messenger.
show up at 12,
Your estimated wait time is less than 60 seconds.
or it could show up at 12:30, or it could show up anywhere in between. And I mean, if it's planning to show up at 12, I shouldn't even start trying to eat because it's already
11:50. July 14, 11:55 a.m. and 48 seconds.
5 minutes before the window opens. Of course, sitting here waiting on hold doesn't get anything done either. I believe I've got a 12 to 12:30. I was wondering what the ETA is at this point. Okay, thanks. You too. Bye. Yeah, I need to take this with me because there's not going to be time. If I had started...
Screen lock.
If I had maybe eaten instead of called the Lyft, maybe I would have had time, but I didn't, and it's okay. That's what... That's what this is for. Let's just hope I remember it. Boy, is it possible to adjust the strap on this thing? When I said that's what this is for, in case anyone is as blind as I am, or has been rendered as blind as I am, or almost as blind as I am, because my video quality sucks from a visual standpoint. When I said that's what this is for, I took out a lunchbox that I don't often have to use, but in a situation like this, it comes in handy. But it's like meant to hold in your hand, it seems, not to like wear around your neck or anything like that. And I wonder if it's possible to adjust this strap. And what am I doing? I'm going to turn this vlog off and get my thoughts together, figure out what I'm doing.
Zoom.
No, turn off. Okay, crap, I lost my job. What do I do from here? Plan is kind of coming together. My voc rehab counselor and the North Star employment coordinator emailed me back kind of within half an hour time here. And it sounds like they're both saying the same thing. You know, let's look at our possibilities. Let's, you know, pull together and see what we can do. And here's when I can meet. So, my voc rehab counselor won't be available for 2 weeks, but the North Star coordinator, last time I went in hoping that we'd have a chance to talk, and we didn't, so I emailed her. I needed to give her some information anyway. I said, can we get an appointment made? I mean, I don't want to come in there and not be able to talk to you. So she gave me some times that she could meet, and she's talking next week. I'm like, yeah, let's meet with you next week while we're waiting for the other one. And I'm going to look again at what she said. I was actually in the middle of reading the email when my ride showed up, so I'll read it. I'll read it later. I'll read it when I get to the commission and respond to it. I know one thing. One thing that she said was, I'm open at these times on Monday the 18th. Well, I'll take another look at her Monday the 18th schedule and see if it's something that I want to do, or, I mean, if not, there's other times next week. But my thing is, I used to say, okay, that's the one day that I go into, you know, physically go into work and go to our meetings. I don't want to schedule anything on a Monday. Well, I don't got to worry about that anymore. So, if I can't work on Monday, I can work at finding more work. Unless it's just a time that I'm thinking, oh, heck no. I'll look back again at what time she said she was available and decide if I want to do that or pick another day next week. But yeah, we're going to pull it together. We're going to get onto the other side of this. I don't know what I'll be doing, where I'll be doing it, or when it will come to pass. But I'm going to go back to work. I just don't know a lot of the details right now. This is the end of probably the best job I ever had, but it's not the end of my career. It's not the end of my working life.
Unemployment Insurance Center. If you want to use the Oregon Employment Department's Unemployment Insurance Center services, you can file your claim online at
Yeah, well,
www.workinginOregon.org.
we're currently experiencing high call volume, they say.
Your call may be
Well,
monitored or
I'll
recorded.
listen to...
If all your work was in the state of Oregon in the last 18 months and you want to file a claim, press 1. If you worked in any state other than Oregon in the last 18 months, during this call you will be asked a series of questions, and then you will be referred to a claims specialist who will assist you in completing your initial claim.
Okay, I changed my mind. I'm not going to do this right now. I came here for a reason, and that reason was not to sit on the phone all day. It's already
1:18 p.m. and 16 seconds.
1:18. Let me at least exercise first and then see what time it is. Just that we're experiencing high call volume just sort of turns me off. It makes me think that maybe I should do this either later today or tomorrow. Sometime when I can just take an hour or two, if I have to sit on hold and wade through this.
Start. Button. Ready.
And I'm not going to use my iPhone to do that because it starts with that unemployment stuff. It starts with a bunch of automated questions. You got to enter these numbers, enter that numbers. There's just too much. There's just too much dialing for me to be willing to do that on a touch screen. I mean, some of those menus, it's just too... It's just too... Like I said, there's just too much dialing to do it on a touch screen because or maybe it's just me not liking to dial with a touch screen when you got multiple. It's one thing when I'm calling my ride and you only have to hit like one number, or when you're calling some places where you only have to hit like one or two numbers at a time. But when you got to hit this number and then that number and then enter in like a larger number, you know, with multiple digits, and I mean, it's just too much of a pain in the butt to try to do that on a touch screen, so I'm not going to do that. So that's why, even if I find myself waiting for a ride, I mean, depending on what time it is when I get off of here, I might be able to actually, oh boy, I was just thinking, I'm not sure it's such a good idea to tie up. I'll just talk to the front desk. I'm not sure it's such a good idea to keep the student lounge phone tied up that long, because honestly, that is the way the front desk tries to get a hold of people, to let them know that their rides are there. Of course, if there's no answer down there, they'll find someone to go down there and, you know, kind of look around the place for them, but I just don't know about keeping that phone tied up for that long, and I don't know how long it's going to be, and they do say we're experiencing high call volume, so you might want to, basically what they're saying is, be aware that you're either going to be on hold for a good long freaking time, or you might just hang up on this and apply online. Yeah, well, I'm not even sure what I'm doing, and is that even accessible? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, I'm not sure, but I just think that doing it on the phone might be a better idea. It may have to wait till I get home, though. And if I get home too late today to do it, then I'm going to have to do it tomorrow. Maybe between my housekeeper, assistant, whatever you'd call her, coming, and the time I go run this errand. Normally she would have come on Tuesday, but she's out. She didn't come in Tuesday because she was out ill, and that's going to be kind of interesting. She's going to come Friday, and then am I going to have her come back Tuesday already? Or do we just, I don't know. We'll talk about that. I will say this, I'm blessed in the sense that they go back 18 months. They want to know about your previous employment for the past 18 months. Well, that's from January of 2015 to now. Well, I know a lot of people, when they call in to file for unemployment, I mean, if they've lasted at each job like 6 months, well, that's 3 employers that they have to go back and say, yeah, this is who that was, and this is who that was, and this is who that was. These are the dates for this job, this job, this job, you know, all of this stuff. With me, it's easy because, honestly, looking back from January to now, I only had one employer. From January to May, I was trying to find a job. In early May, I was hired at the job I just lost. I was hired on like the 5th or the 6th. I started on the 20th. Was laid off this past Monday, the 11th. So I've only got one job to think about. That's good. Okay. I could ask him at the front desk about if it's a good idea to have that phone tied up, etc., etc. Or I could recognize that if this isn't a good time for one thing, it's a fine time for another. This has nothing to do with me getting a job, but I have been wanting to look into something for a while here. And there's no reason I can't do it because this call I can make on my iPhone. And hopefully I'll actually be able to get through to someone this time.
2:30 p.m. Mail. Search. Updated at 2:21 p.m. Doc. Phone. Phone. 1. Voicemail. Call. Button. Voicemail. Tab. Pound.
I cannot find the delete button. I think there's a 1 here that doesn't necessarily need to be here. But I cannot change it, so I'll just try dialing this.
9 6 6 1 1 1 1. Call. Button.
And if it doesn't go through, it doesn't go through. If it does, it does.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless.
Okay, that's information that I didn't have before.
2:49 p.m. and 9 seconds.
And I think it's close enough to my time that I can call Lyft and see if I can get an ETA.
Thank you. Your call may be monitored or recorded
3.
for quality assurance.
All dispatchers are.
Seems like they always are. 8-minute wait, forget about it. It was 3:28 to 3:58 anyway, so. Okay, I'm home, and it's
4:36 p.m. and 38
4:36, and I don't really know what is going to happen that's going to be worth vlogging about until I watch Big Brother, and even that I'm not going to live vlog. I'm just going to kind of, well, I might live vlog, but I won't be, well, I'll just do whatever I do, you know. I have not been paying a whole lot of attention to, I really didn't watch Big Brother this week, just because I didn't. I know that Bridget was HOH, and Bronte and Tiffany are up on the block, but who else is up on the block? Unless they did not have a roadkill competition this week. Roadkill competition, that's nuts. Unless they did not have a roadkill competition, there is a third person up on the block. I don't know who that is. But, I'll find out probably. They'll do it previously, and they'll run through everything that happened this week, and I'll know by the end of that who's on the block. Between Bronte and Tiffany, I don't really have anyone that I'm pulling for or not pulling for. I mean, obviously one of them's got to go. I'm not partial to either one of them. But again, I don't know who nominee number 3 is. It might be someone that, you know, I could take any one of those 3 or leave them, whatever happens, happens. Or it might be, oh my God, not so-and-so. So-and-so is not on the block. Please vote one of the other 2 out. But again, I don't know who that 3rd nominee is, so I won't say anything about it until I find out. Okay, I'm not going to do that, okay? I said yesterday I have decided which presidential candidate I'm going to vote for. I'm not mega excited about either one of them, but I have made my mind up one versus the other. Although, having said that and having made up my mind, I am not going to get a Chio certain candidate. Or a Chia. I'm not going to get a Chia future president. Yeah, I'm just not saying who I'm voting for, but given those choices, I know who I want, but I'm not such a big enthusiast of that particular person. I'm not such a big certain someone fan that I'm going to get a Chia certain someone. I might one of these days, it's not a high priority for me at all, but sometime in the course of the rest of my life, I might get a Chia pet just to see what it's like. But a Chia president, hopeful president so-and-so, no. Not that anyone who does is not cool. I mean, that's great. I mean, if you want to do it, you go right ahead. It's just, I'm not going to do it. Okay. Due to some technical difficulties, I'm not even sure what the last thing was that I said. But it's
8:59 p.m. and 4 seconds.
Big Brother's going to start literally any second, so. If I go back and watch this and figure out what I was going to say and decide I want to say more about it, I might later. But for right now, I won't. Okay, this stupid TV show, oh my God, I don't know what that is, but that is so... Talk about someone just laying back and letting stuff happen and not doing jack squat to help. I mean, these people were clearly in a car accident. This bimbo's just going, just let the world swirl around you, or whatever the hell she was saying. I was like, I hope you can live with that when somebody dies and you could have called for help and you didn't. You just decided to let go and let God. I mean, I'm not necessarily not going to let go and let God, but sometimes God's using you as the fingers that dial 911. Hello. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it sounds like, well, I've been not watching. Even though Bridget's been head of household, she's basically been Frank's puppet, and Frank's been telling her what to do. Meanwhile, Frank kind of has pissed people off, and Day Day's really pissed at Frank. And she's like, I might just try to flip things around because this is like Frank's week this week, or so he thinks. He ain't had a household. He ain't all that. Okay, earlier I was saying, I don't know if this ended up going on or not. I don't know if this ended up going on to the vlog or not, because I was talking and then I tried to put the video into the project list and it didn't seem to want to go in. And I turned the iPod off and turned it back on, and I got the thing back up, but I didn't know if it had taken or not. And first of all, this thing's too long to play from start to finish. Secondly, if I did play it from start to finish and then tried to add to it, whatever I said after I played it would show up at the beginning of the vlog. I have done that before, and I don't want to do it again. But I know that earlier I was saying, and I don't know if you were able to hear it or not. I don't know if it made it on the vlog or not, but I was saying that I do have that iPhone 6. If you go back into my other vlogs, though, I've told you how annoyed that thing makes me. It just has these moments where it just doesn't work. And then I let it completely die because, I mean, I don't even remember when the last time was that I plugged it in. And if you don't have some kind of charge in it, it like flatlines and just goes down. And I went ahead and put it back on the charger. After long enough on the charger, it, we had some signs of life. It started working again. But I don't know if I want to use this as like an iPod on occasion, but not as a YouTube camera or as a YouTube camera. I don't know what the heck I want to do. But I have at least this, which is making great recordings, and maybe the iPhone 6, or maybe this iPhone, if I decide to do. I mean, I'm going to have plenty of. The reason why I might use this iPhone is because I'm thinking about switching to Sprint. Nothing wrong with Verizon, okay? I do want to say that, but Sprint's got such a clear commitment to helping the blind and other people that are disabled that, I mean, I'm not saying that Verizon isn't a good company. I'm just saying that it's kind of like Charter Communications or something versus Comcast. Charter may be great, but Comcast has the talking voice, the voice guidance on the setup box. It's got a call center that's open and running specifically for people to call and say, "Hey, my voice guidance isn't working. Is there any way we can figure out? Is it me? Is it what am I? What? Can you talk me through this? Can you send somebody to help me figure out what's going on? What? Oh yeah, we're having voice guidance problems. Or just actually let's try talking you through. The point is, if you call the run-of-the-mill Comcast place, they may know what I mean when I say voice guidance, but they have no idea like how to activate it or anything, or how to work with it, or probably not. Whereas the Comcast Support Center for Customers with Disabilities, long name, but that's where it's at. That's where the help is for things that are specifically for people who frankly aren't like everybody else and need some special equipment or some special services. Which is why, if I had Charter Communications in my area, which I don't, but I just pulled Charter out because I know it's another cable company. If I had Charter in my area, I'm not necessarily saying that they would not be a good company, but I'm saying I would stick with my Comcast. I'm saying that if I ever move, I hope that Comcast can move with me. I hope that it will be in a place where Comcast still has service. And if it is not, then I hope by the time I move to that location and that cable company will have kind of followed Comcast's lead. But in the meanwhile, now we're talking Sprint and Verizon. Sprint has got, is doing something specific for blind people, and therefore I consider changing to Sprint. And if I do change to Sprint, I'm going to have this iPhone from Verizon that's not going to be, this iPhone is not really going to have a whole lot of use if I'm using a Sprint iPhone, to do my phone calling, etc., etc. Therefore, this could turn into a YouTube iPhone. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. You're going to get sick of hearing this technology or that technology, but I don't know. Eventually, this will all come to a conclusion, and I'll be like, okay, always got this, always using this, or always using this, whatever. Meanwhile, I finally know either Paul or Tiffany or Bronte is going to be out of here tonight. And I guess Frank wants Tiffany out. But, listen to Sprint's commercial. There it is right now. Frank wants Tiffany out. But then Frank's been pretending he was the head of household, even though he wasn't the head of household. I mean, in a way, I think he's almost turned into another Jose, I'm the one with the power around here. Yeah, you're HOH, but I'm, it's all about me. What the heck is this sticky ick? And he's kind of used Bridget to do things as if he was the head of household. And people aren't happy with that. Day's not happy with that. In case y'all haven't noticed, I'll just tell you, Nicole, Davon, and who else was I pulling for? Oh, Polly. Just because of his connection to Big Brother. I would be pulling for any of those three. And as far as the three that are up on the block tonight, I'm not, I wouldn't be devastated if any one of those three left, although the way Frank's kind of being like the puppet master with the HOH, I'm not sure I want Tiffany out just because that's what Frank wants, and I'm not sure what I think of Frank. Damn, this vlog's getting long. Wow. Bronte's evicted. I didn't know what to think, but wow. I thought surely it would be... I didn't think it looked good for Tiffany, but wow. And Paul, I don't know. But you know what? Either way, Frank, something tells me that you need to be watching your butt, because you could be walking out that door next week. Okay. Polly is head of household. Bronte was evicted this week. And Anne's closing out her vlog because it has turned into the longest vlog I have ever done. I appreciate you watching this video. If you liked it, I hope you'll like and subscribe. And I'll see you for the next video tomorrow or whenever it is. Bye.